Yo, we can't blame nobody but black people for this.
Time to blow it up.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Truth TV with True Fisher. So, we're going to talk about this episode of Arroyo Grande where two people are having a conversation. Raymond Arroyo and James Carville are talking about who would be the best, Democratic nominee for 2028, for the 2028 presidential election. And what Carville says is just crazy to me. But it's not far off when you look at the history of what black folks went out to vote for, and that is why I say I put this at the feet of black people. It's our fault. Y'all listen to this, and I'll be back to talk about it.
Who is the Democrat that you see who can carry the flag into 2028? Kamala Harris?
No.
AOC?
No.
Rahm Emanuel?
To win the Democratic nomination, you have to ask yourself two really important questions. One, can you raise a lot of early money? The second question you have to ask yourself, who can walk into a black fish fry in South Carolina, a black church? Now, they can be nice. They're very polite people.
Yeah.
But who is going to get them to hum and sway? If I had to say one guy, if I were like betting the Kentucky Derby and I saw this 12-1 horse and I said, yeah, I want to get a price, I'd take J.B. Pritzker.
Really? Why?
Well,
not Kamala Harris? She's black.
She has no chance.
Why not?
Because no Democrat wants anything to do with anybody that had anything to do with 2024.
So Kamala Harris can't get the black community to sway and hum?
No, they're not. No. And the other thing is, and this is the best news for Democrats that the party can possibly have.
Yeah.
Just win. They don't. If we nominate two white males, no one's going to give a shit.
So according to him, the way to win the Democratic nomination is one, be able to raise a lot of early money. Two, be able to go into a black church at a fish fry and make them hum and sway. Now, he didn't have to put black folks in that at all, but if we're going to be honest, black folks is kind of like the driving culture for the Democratic Party, because black folks are the only people that vote in a singular block. Like, you have black folks that do vote Republican, but it's not at the rate that black folks vote Democrat, right? So instead of saying, give black folks anything of any type of substance, no, anti-black hate crime bill, no reparations in the form of cash payments, no anything, substantial, no, regulating the police, none of that, police, brutality, nothing of any substance, but other than hum and sway, basically shucking and jiving. That's all that we as black Americans are worth to these Democrats, bro, is to be able to hum and sway. That's what they come to us with. And it's not far off, because we've had, presidents that have went into the black church and kissed babies and did they singing, they, saxophone playing, became president and didn't do nothing for black folks. In fact, screwed over black folks. You had Bill Clinton. He was playing the saxophone, and black people called him the first black president. That was out of pocket when I learned that. That was very out of pocket. But he went on to sign into law the 1994 crime bill, the bill that mass incarcerated black Americans by way of taking discretion away from the judges. Yeah, how'd that hum and sway go? We had Obama. He didn't do anything for black people. He did more for the Hispanic community and the LGBT community than he did for black people. But Obama, black folks went out in droves and voted for him because we figured, he's a guy that looked like us, black. He'll do right by black folks. Nope. Obama is probably the last person that will get away with that. He will be the last person that will get away with that. Folks ain't talking about voting for anybody based on their skin color. We want to know what we'll get out the deal. Yeah, that's what we're on now. Then we got, Joe Biden, the man who authored the '94 crime bill, and was very braggadocious about it. Authored it. Those were our most recent choices in Democrat. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We are looking for substance. We are looking for something out of the deal. We aren't looking to just hum sway. You come and you kiss kids and shake hands with pastors and stuff, and then everybody go and vote for you. No. What are you gonna do for Black Americans? Black Americans have a lot of problems in the country. What are you gonna do to fix a lot of those problems? He said nothing on that level. Nothing at all. He could have just kept black folks out of that whole conversation. He could have just kept us out of it. To say that was all that you would be able to bring to the table, and that's what we would stand for, is crazy. But that man is of the age group where that has been the play, and he has seen he has seen that happen throughout his time. But it's a new day, and y'all gonna have to come up with some new tactics to get black people to go out there and vote. Because black people ain't just going out there to vote because you smiled in their face. That's not happening. We got to change up how we are voting in, who we are voting in, especially when it comes to these Democrats, because they don't do nothing but screw us over in the end almost at every turn. But when I say that, I don't mean just go directly over and vote for Republicans, because that will be a fool's errand too. To just say goodbye to one team and go to another. We gotta stop voting off of you know respectability politics. Oh, that's a woman. That's a black person. That's a Hispanic. We gotta stop voting off of that, off of those minority politics. We got to start voting on what we are going to get from what candidate. That man gave the playbook of old. We have to come up with a playbook of new, because the old playbook just is not working for us at all. We also have to do better with holding these politicians' feet to the fire, because that is one thing that we don't do enough. We don't necessarily hold their feet to the fire for what we want. I think we are starting to do that a little more, but it's not. It hasn't been a lot. But that's what I got to say. What I got to say about that situation. It's crazy, the fact that he believes that is what's gonna get black folks out in 2028 to vote for a Democrat. But I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about that, and why. I want y'all to know if y'all wonder why he didn't bring up anything else. Democrats mostly talk about immigration and whatnot. Why didn't he bring up trying to get the immigrants to go vote for the Democrats? That's one thing that I want to know myself. Why didn't you bring up anything about the immigrants? A lot of them are legal here. You could have brought that up. Now let me know how y'all feel about what he said. If y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell because I will be back with another video.
The Truth TV. Subscribe, like, and comment.